Hi guys, welcome to my second snapshot review for 1.17. This snapshot is 21W05A. In the time of me setting up this video and then coming to record it, they've released 21W05B, which was just to fix a few bugs in the initial release of the snapshot. But let's just get started. If you like this video, then don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe. You can also support me on Patreon if you like. The link is in the description down below. So I have this little information book that I've written on the snapshot, which will help us as we go around what it is that I've set up. So the first thing that we get to is these little bush things. They're called azaleas and the flowering azalea. So the one on my left here is the normal azalea, and the one on the right is the flowering azalea. Pretty self-explanatory really. There's no flowers on this one, there's flowers on this one. So the things with this, it currently can only be found in creative, which is basically the same for everything that I'm going to show in this snapshot. But obviously all things in this snapshot are intended to be naturally generated in the lush cave biome that hopefully we see in a snapshot soon, because I can't wait to see that because it looks so cool. These azaleas can also be farmed, so they have a chance to generate on top of moss blocks, which we'll get to in a minute, and that happens when you bone meal them. And they, yeah, like I said, they are planned to be naturally generated in the lush caves. So, like I said about the moss block, this is what the moss block here is. There's also a moss carpet, which is just here. The way you create it is just with 2 moss blocks in the crafting recipe like a normal carpet, and it will create the moss carpet, which honestly is very, very simple. But yeah, so like I said, you can actually bone meal these moss blocks to have a chance to get the azalea, and very rarely the flowering azalea. So there are a few other things you can get, such as grass, tall grass, and you can actually get moss carpets as well when you bone meal these. So let me just show you until we get a azalea or a flowering azalea. There we go, so we just got a moss carpet though. There we go, perfect, we got a flowering azalea. So they're quite rare, they're rarer than these ones anyway, so nice. And like I said, these are actually farmable, so let me just go ahead and show you that. When you're in survival, you can just hit it and you can pick it up and basically place it wherever you like. So that's amazing, because that obviously means that you can farm these, you can take them wherever you like, decorate your base with them. You can also jump on them like a normal block, which I find pretty cool. So when we go into this next area, it's already becoming night, but we're just going to make it midnight. And this is the glowberries. So a couple of things to say about the glowberries, that they grow on cave vines, which grow down from the ceiling of the lush caves. And when you bone meal them, it actually generates these glowberries. So let me show you that. So whatever part you bone meal, it puts a lush berry on it. A lush berry? No, a glowberry, sorry. Which I think is amazing. These emit light and they also restore 2 hunger bars if you eat them. So that means that is another farmable light source in this game. So we've got the glow lichen, which is going to be added in 1.17, and now we've also got glowberries. So that's amazing. 2 new oh hello, I've gone. 2 new farmable light sources, which I think is pretty cool. I think Minecraft definitely needed that. But yeah, and to harvest them, all you got to do is break them and it will drop the glowberries, which I can't currently eat now, but obviously if I was hungry I could. You can also plant these just by, if I break that, just by putting the glowberries on there, and when they grow they also have a chance of generating these little glowberries. So let's just make it back to day and turn myself back to creative for the rest of this, because we don't need it to be night or be in survival anymore. So this is called the Spore Blossom. So there's only a couple of things about this. It's mainly decorative, but as you can see, it is placed on ceilings and it emits these really cool green particles, which I love. And yeah, this is going to be amazing for decorating, guys, especially kind of gardeny areas maybe. I'm not too sure, but we can definitely do something with this. So as we move on, the next thing we come to are the drip leaves. So we've got big drip leaves and we also have small drip leaves. So we'll go through the big one first. So when you bone meal a big drip leaf, it will just grow slightly taller, which is pretty cool. So we can grow them as tall as we like, and I think it's quite cool, to be honest. And you can also, if you stand on them, they will tilt and you'll eventually fall in. There are two ways which you can, I'm going to get rid of this rain. So there are two ways in which you can stop, oh, that was bad. Two ways in which you can stop it tilting and you falling in. And to do that, you can either, I can't jump, you can either constantly jump on one of these big drip leaves. As you can see, it's not tilting and I will not fall in, but as soon as I stop jumping, I fall. And the other way, which is slightly easier, is just to crouch on them. As you can see, it's not tilting and I'm not falling in. So that's two ways in which you can stop yourself from falling off of one of these drip leaves. So these big drip leaves will also be broken when they're hit by a projectile. So obviously if you don't want them broken, don't be bringing skeletons around. Now onto these small drip leaves. When you bone meal them, they turn into a big drip leaf. And obviously you can bone meal that one to your heart's content. And I find that quite cool, that you can come across one of these. You can't jump on these or anything, but when they're a big drip leaf you can, which is cool. The small drip leaves are also sold by the Wandering Trader every now and then, which I find quite nice actually. So I don't know if that's the only way you can get them. I'm assuming you can get them from Lush Caves as well. Nothing's actually been said about that. So another thing to note, both of these drip leaves, the big drip leaf and the small drip leaf that we had before, can be placed in water, and it can be placed on dirt or moss or clay. It can't currently be placed on sand or gravel or anything, and I don't think that's going to be changed. And also the big drip leaves can be placed out of water, whereas the small ones can't because they need moisture. So the only way to basically place them out of water is to place them on a clay block. If I was to take a small drip leaf and try and place it, it isn't working. Whereas the big drip leaves you can place out of water. The small drip leaves need to be placed on clay. See, you can hear my mouse clicking. Just nothing is happening. The next little bit of this snapshot review is just going to go through some of the changes that I find are worth noting. I haven't put all of them in here because I personally don't think they're big changes, but these ones I think, like I said, are worth being said. So I'll just take you through those. So the first one is the fact that a stone cutter can be used to craft copper block variants such as stairs and slabs and stuff, which I think is pretty cool because obviously copper isn't stone, but as it's got slabs and stairs variants to it, I think it's quite nice that we can use the stone cutter to do that. I think it's a shame really that we don't currently have something like that for wood though. but that's okay. The second one that I think should be said is the fact that Drowned will now drop copper ingots rarely instead of gold ones. So I don't know if you guys already knew, but the Drowns had a chance of dropping a gold ingot upon being killed. When 1.17 comes out, they will have a chance of dropping copper rather than gold. Flaming arrows are also extinguished in powdered snow. So if you don't know what powdered snow is, let me just show you that now. So it comes in a little bucket and you place it and it looks like a block. And you can walk through it, but if you're not wearing... I'm fed up with the rain. This is not Britain. Anyway, if you're not wearing leather armour, then you will freeze in this powdered snow. So if I just stand in it, as you can see, my FOV starts to zoom in a little bit and we get these snowflakes around the outside. And if I was on survival, then I'd start taking damage and eventually die from that. I find that pretty cool, and the fact that the powdered snow looks exactly like, or very similar anyway, to normal snow blocks, I think it's something that we've got to go careful for. You can also fall through it, if I was to jump on it and then go through, so that could be something used to make some pretty cool traps. So another thing that actually basically changes in powdered snow is the fact that skeletons turn into strays when they're frozen. So I don't know whether that could be made into some sort of farm, maybe like a stray farm. I think that would be pretty cool. I can't remember what drops strays have, but if that's useful, then that's something maybe we could do when 1.17 comes out, is build a stray farm. The last change that I thought was worth noting is the fact that powdered snow is actually going to be pushable by pistons, which I think is pretty cool. Like I said, that can make for some pretty cool traps. The last two blocks that I want to show you are just purely decorative, which is why I've just added them at the end. I know the Spore Blossom is purely decorative as well, but I thought that was worth having over there. Whereas these two things, we've got the Hanging Root, which kind of looks like worms coming out of a block, to be honest. As you can see, it's placed on the top of blocks. And we've got this Rooted Dirt, which again looks like it's got worms in it. But I quite like this. We can use it for more texture. So now we've got 3 types of dirt to texturize paths and maybe like the sides of cliffs and things. So obviously we've got normal dirt, coarse dirt, and rooted dirt, and I think they all look pretty good together. Let me just show you that. Okay, so this is our regular dirt beside the coarse dirt and the rooted dirt. I think all of them, that one's now turned to grass, that's not what I wanted, but I think all the textures look pretty good together, and like I said, this will be good to make some sort of path and things, but these two are just purely decorative and I believe will also be found in the Lush Caves. I hope you all enjoyed this video and hopefully it was informative. Is that the word? I believe that's the right word. Anyway, I hope it helped you guys know what's in the new Snapshot. You may have seen other people's videos already, but hopefully I covered everything that there is needed to know about the new Snapshot 21W05A. Let me get that right. And hopefully the video was also enjoyable for you guys. So as you can see, I tried a new sort of layout for my Snapshot reviews. Let me know whether you liked how I did it this time compared to how I did the glow squid one. Let me know in the comments which one you preferred. That'll help me out a lot. But if you did enjoy this video, then don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!